Highway hypnosis is a driving condition that can result from a. Staring at the roadway for long periods of time. b. Frequent rest stops. c. Too much sleep the night before your trip. d. Short trips on expressways. a. Staring at the roadway for long periods of time. Highway hypnosis happens when you stare straight ahead at the roadway for long periods of time and stop actively scanning ahead, behind, and around your vehicle. This can lead you to zone out, making you very likely to crash into traffic slowing or stopping ahead of you. If an emergency vehicle with flashing lights is traveling in the area where you are driving, you should a. Speed up to avoid the emergency vehicle. b. Stop your vehicle immediately and prevent them from passing. c. Make every effort to give the emergency vehicle a clear path of travel. d. Signal to the emergency vehicle when it is clear for them to pass you. c. Make every effort to give the emergency vehicle a clear path of travel. If an emergency vehicle with flashing lights is traveling in the area where you are driving, you must make every effort to give them a clear path of travel. If it is safe to do so, pull your vehicle to the side of the road to give the emergency vehicle an open pathway. A yellow and black diamond-shaped sign. A. Warns you about conditions on or near the road. B. Helps direct you to cities and towns ahead. C. Tells you about traffic laws and regulations. D. Tells you about road construction ahead. A. Warns you about conditions on or near the road. Warning signs, which tell you about conditions on or near the road ahead, are usually diamond-shaped with black symbols or words on a yellow background. While driving, you come upon a sign displaying the words "Reduced speed, 35 miles per hour." This means a. That the new 35 miles per hour speed limit begins at this sign. b. That the new 35 miles per hour speed limit begins at the next speed limit sign. c. That you have plenty of time to slow down before the reduced speed zone. d. That you should reduce your speed to 35 miles per hour, but only under poor weather conditions. a. That the new 35 miles per hour speed limit begins at this sign. Reduced speed signs inform drivers that they must reduce their speeds. If a new speed limit is posted on one of these signs, the new speed limit begins at the sign.
Want to ace your DMV test? Click on the link below and get your guaranteed cheat sheet.
When a traffic signal light turns green, you should a. Yield the right-of-way to pedestrians. b. Accelerate as quickly as possible. c. Back up slowly. d. Not move until another driver waves you on. a. Yield the right-of-way to pedestrians. A green light tells you that you can go through the intersection. However, you must first yield the right-of-way to traffic and pedestrians who are still in the intersection. If you see this sign, you a. should maintain your vehicle's speed until you enter the reduced speed zone. b. Should begin to reduce your vehicle's speed. c. Should not slow down because traffic will start to back up. d. May reduce your speed, if you choose to do so. b. Should begin to reduce your vehicle's speed. Reduced speed ahead signs inform drivers that they should begin to reduce the speed of their vehicles. The new speed limit will begin at the next speed limit sign. A solid yellow line on your side of the center line means A. Slow down. B. Pass with caution. C. Do not pass. D. Keep right on hills. C. Do not pass. A solid yellow line next to your lane means that passing is not permitted from your direction. You come to an intersection with a flashing red light. You must A. Slow down and drive carefully through the intersection. B. Turn either right or left, since the road is blocked ahead. C. Stop at the intersection and wait for a flashing green light. D. Stop at the intersection, then proceed as traffic allows. This road sign means A. Roundabout ahead. B. No passing zone. C. Left turn yield on green. D. Traffic signal ahead. D. Traffic signal ahead. This sign means that a traffic signal is ahead. You should slow down and be prepared to stop. Before switching on the ignition, you should A. Be sure only backseat passengers have buckled their seat belts. B. Be sure only adult passengers have buckled their seat belts. C. Be sure only child passengers have buckled their seat belts. D. Be sure all of the vehicle's occupants have buckled their seat belts. D. Be sure all of the vehicle's occupants have buckled their seat belts. Develop a routine for entering and leaving your car. Before switching on the ignition, buckle your safety belt and see that all passengers do likewise. An arrogant driver is a driver who A. Is purposely in a hurry and competing with other traffic. B. Shows little or no respect for traffic laws or the rights of other drivers and pedestrians. C. You should try to avoid while driving. D. All of the above. If your turn signals fail, you should use fill in the blank to indicate that you are turning. A. Your horn. B. Your headlights. C. Hand signals. D. Your emergency flashers. C. Hand signals. If your vehicle's turn signals do not work, you should use hand signals to indicate when you intend to change direction. A driver entering interstate traffic from an entrance or acceleration ramp. A. Should yield to drivers already on the interstate. B. Has the right of way. C. May force their way into traffic. D. Can assume that other drivers will change lanes to make room. A. Should yield to drivers already on the interstate. If you are on an entrance or acceleration ramp and are entering interstate traffic, you should yield to drivers already on the interstate highway. Merge safely into traffic when you are able to do so. This sign means A. Merging traffic. B. Multiple turns. C. Lane shifting. D. Do not block intersection. A. Merging traffic. Warning signs prepare drivers for upcoming road conditions and hazards and are usually yellow with black markings. This sign alerts drivers to potential traffic merging from the right. Drivers should prepare to allow the traffic to merge safely. This sign means A. One-way traffic. B. Divided highway ends. C. Two-way traffic. D. Keep left. B. Divided highway ends. Warning signs are usually diamond-shaped with black markings on a yellow background. They alert drivers to upcoming hazards. This sign indicates that the divided highway is about to end. When towing a trailer load, ensure that the trailer's load is properly balanced. About. Fill in the blank. Of the total trailer weight should be on the vehicle's trailer hitch. A. 5%. B. 10 to 15%. C. 15 to 20%. D. 20 to 25%. B. 10 to 15%. About 10 to 15% of a trailer's weight should be on the towing vehicle's trailer hitch. If the weight is poorly distributed, the driver will have trouble controlling the vehicle or trailer. What does a single dashed yellow line separating traffic mean? A. Drivers may pass if it is safe to do so. B. Both lanes travel in the same direction. C. Drivers may not pass. D. Drivers may pass, even if it could be dangerous. A. Drivers may pass if it is safe to do so. Yellow lines separate traffic moving in opposite directions. A single dashed yellow line in the center of a road indicates that vehicles traveling in both directions are permitted to pass. Drivers may only begin a pass if they will not interfere with any oncoming traffic. Two solid yellow lines on the pavement mean: A. Passing is allowed for drivers from both directions. B. Passing is not allowed. C. Passing is allowed if you are at the top a hill. D. Passing is allowed during daylight only. B. Passing is not allowed. Yellow lines tell you that the traffic on the other side of the lines is moving in the opposite direction. You should never cross two solid yellow lines to pass from either direction. Drivers who eat and drink while driving. A. Make no driving errors. B. Have trouble driving slowly. C. Are better drivers because they are not hungry. D. Have trouble controlling their vehicles. D. Have trouble controlling their vehicles. Choosing to eat, drink, or smoke while driving is dangerous because these actions require a driver to remove their hands from the wheel and their eyes from the road. Drivers who engage in distracting activities while driving have trouble staying in their lanes and controlling their vehicles. An inattentive driver is a driver who: A. Stares at objects off the roadway or daydreams while driving. B. Maintains eye contact during a conversation with a passenger while driving. C. Only watches the vehicle ahead of their vehicle. D. All of the above. D. All of the above. Do not become distracted by looking at passengers, attempting to find something in your vehicle, looking at reading material, sightseeing, or daydreaming while driving. Continue scanning the road, checking your mirrors, and looking at the instrument panel at regular intervals. Developing these safe habits will keep you attentive as a driver. This road sign means: A. Road widens ahead. B. Lane reduction, the right lane ends soon. C. Highway entrance ramp ahead. D. Lane reduction, the left lane ends soon. B. Lane reduction, the right lane ends soon. This sign indicates that the right lane ends ahead. This sign means: A. One-way traffic. B. Divided highway ahead. C. Two-way traffic. D. Keep left. B. Divided highway ahead. Warning signs are usually diamond-shaped with black markings on a yellow background. They alert drivers to upcoming hazards. This warning sign indicates that drivers are about to encounter a divided highway. Which of the following equipment may you have installed on your private vehicle? A. A blue light visible outside of the vehicle. B. A bell, exhaust whistle, or siren. C. A muffler cutout or bypass. D. None of the above. D. None of the above. Adding a bell, exhaust whistle, or siren to your motor vehicle is prohibited. You may not add a red light that is visible from the front of your vehicle or a blue light that is visible outside of the vehicle. You may not add a muffler cutout, muffler bypass, or any muffler that makes more noise than the vehicle's original equipment. You may drive across a dashed white line. A. At any time. B. Only during daylight hours. C. When it is safe to change lanes. D. Only when passing a motorcycle. C. When it is safe to change lanes. Traffic lanes moving in the same direction are separated by broken white lines. You may cross over dashed lines to pass, if it is safe to do so. You may honk your horn when you A. Have to stop quickly. B. Are passing another car. C. Have lost control of your car. D. Are passing a bicyclist. C. Have lost control of your car. One situation where it is appropriate to use your horn is if you lose control of your vehicle. In this case, sound your horn to alert other drivers. When towing a trailer large enough to obstruct your inside rearview mirror, you are required to A. Have an outside rearview mirror installed on the driver's side of your vehicle. B. Have an outside rearview mirror installed on the side of your vehicle opposite the driver. C. Have outside rearview mirrors installed on both sides of your vehicle. D. Have a person in the vehicle to clear you for right turns. C. Have outside rearview mirrors installed on both sides of your vehicle. If you are towing a trailer that is large enough to obstruct your view of the road through your inside rearview mirror, you must have outside rearview mirrors of proper size installed on your vehicle. These rearview mirrors should be added to both sides of the vehicle. When making a turn, you must fill in the blank. Your speed. A. Increase. B. Maintain. C. Vary. D. Reduce. D. Reduce. When turning, you should reduce to a speed that allows you to maintain control of your vehicle, stay in your lane, and react to unexpected situations. To be safe when crossing a railroad, you should A. Look both ways, but only when the red light is flashing. B. Listen, look both ways, and then proceed if it is safe to do so. C. Cross especially quickly when a train is approaching. D. Quickly pass under any lowering gates. B. Listen, look both ways, and then proceed if it is safe to do so. Railroad crossings are always dangerous. Drivers should look and listen for an approaching train coming from either direction before proceeding across the tracks. Watch for signals indicating an approaching train and never proceed until you are certain it is safe to do so. You notice that the driver in the vehicle ahead of you is driving with one hand and talking to a passenger. You should A. Give the vehicle extra space. B. Know that the driver in the vehicle ahead is reducing their safety margin by being an inattentive driver. C. Avoid following the driver's example. D. All of the above. D. All of the above. Do not become distracted by looking at passengers, attempting to find something in your vehicle, looking at reading material, sightseeing, or daydreaming while driving. If a driver near you seems distracted, allow them extra space because the risk of an accident is increased by their inattentiveness. A red flashing traffic light has the same meaning as A. Solid red light. B. Stop sign. C. Yield sign. D. Caution sign. B. Stop sign. A red flashing traffic signal has the same meaning as a stop sign. When approaching a red flashing signal, come to a complete stop and proceed when it is safe to do so. A stop sign may sometimes also be posted where this signal is located.